Good morning, students. Hope you can hear me and just see what is on the screen. Today, as we have decided that we are going to solve the miscellaneous exercise and up that is up also from question number 1 to 20, because already we have solved that is a 21, 23 and 22. So we are going to start with only this exercise. So it will not take much more time today. We will complete it early today or fast. It will take mainly the half an hour. Now we will start with the first question. It is actually very easy, but just to recall, we will start with this. That is, the first question is given as 3x square minus 9x plus 5 raised to 9. So as it is a raised to 9 and we have to find out just derivative, differentiate this with respect to x. Now for that, this is a bracket raised to n. So when we differentiate with respect to x, it will be n bracket raised to n minus 1. So it will be 9 bracket, that is a 3x square minus 9x plus 5 raised to 8, and then derivative of this bracket, that is a 3x square minus 9x plus 5, and so we get dy by dx as 9 3x square minus 9x plus 5 raised to 8. When we go for the derivative, it is a 6x minus 9. We can take 3 common, and so we will get it as a 2x minus 3, and then this 9 3s are 27, then this is a 2x minus 3, and we get 3x square minus 9x plus 5 raised to 8. Now the second question is the same, sin cube x plus cos raised to 6x. Only the thing you have to remember this, when we go for sin cube x, its derivative will be sin cube, it nothing but sin x raised to 3. So that will be 3 bracket raised to 3 minus 1 2, and then derivative of the bracket. So same way we have to go for the cos raised to 6x. Cos raised to 6x is again the same part, that is a cos x raised to 6. So when we take the derivative, it will be 6 cos raised to 5x, and again the derivative of the cos is minus sin x, and by this we will go and simplify this. Here the question is given as third question, that is a 5x raised to 3 minus cos 2x, and because of that, this is a variable, raised to variable, and so we will get it as, we have to take for the log on both the sides. So whenever we take log on both sides, we get log y is equal to log of 5x raised to 3 minus cos 2x. Using the property of the log, a raised to m is m log a, and using that we get, that is a 3 cos 2x log of 5x. Now when we differentiate this, whenever we have to differentiate this is a here 3 is a coefficient, it will not create a problem, it will keep outside this in a bracket. Then cos 2x is a one function, log of 5x is another function. So we have to apply the product rule here. Now this is when we differentiate, derivative of log y is 1 upon y dy by dx is equal to 3 cos 2x derivative of log of 5x plus log of 5x derivative of cos 2x. Now derivative of log of 5x will be 1 upon 5x into derivative of this 5x will be again 5, and then this 5 and 5 will get cancelled, plus log of 5x, this is a derivative of minus sine 2x into 2. Now whenever we go for the minus sine 2x into 2, we will get it as a 2. Now just replace the value of y at whatever we get, that is a 5x raised to 3 5x raised to 3 cos 2x. This is cos 2x upon x minus 2 sin 2x log of 5x. Question 4 was very easy, just x root x, as x root x can be written as x raised to 3 by 2. Then sine inverse, no need to go for simplification, we can go directly with the formula of the sine inverse. Here also we don't have to go for the simplification, directly we can go with u upon v. Start directly with u upon v, that is a v derivative of u derivative of v, and you will get the required answer. Now we are going to start with the question number 6. Question number 6 is given as cot inverse of under root of 1 plus sin x plus under root of 1 minus sin x upon under root of 1 plus sin x minus under root of 1 minus sin x. Now here, as they have given the 0 is less than x is less than pi by 2. One way, we cannot use the direct formula, we can go for the cot inverse x formula, but it will become a more complication, because when we go for the derivative of bracket, it is going to create a more problem. Now for that, first we have to simplify this. To simplify this, there are the two methods. One, you can go for the rationalization. This is already you have studied in the 9th standard. Or there is a one formula, if you remember, 1 plus sin x can be written as cos of x by under root of 1 plus sin x, I am talking about. That can also be written as cos of x by 2 plus sin of x by 2. That formula has been derived from 1 is replaced by sin square plus cos square, and sin x is replaced by the formula 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2, and then we can go, but that is a formula that has to be remembered. Otherwise the rationalization is the easiest part. I have solved by the rationalization. Just 1 minute, students. Sorry, the y is equal to cot inverse of, when we rationalize, what does it mean by rationalization? Here is a minus sign, we will multiply it by the plus sign to numerator and denominator. Now what happened, this bracket and this bracket is the same, so I can say a plus b into a plus b, so we can write it as a plus b the whole square, and so we can write it as a square plus 2ab plus b square. Now using this, we get it as a square plus 2ab plus b square. When we simplify, we get 1 plus sin x plus 1 minus sin x plus 2 under root of 1 minus sin square x. And here it is a minus b into a plus b is a square minus b square. So it will be 1 plus sin x minus 1 minus sin x. Sin x will get cancelled. 1 plus 1 is a 2. Here 1 minus sin square x is cos square x, and root of cos square x is cos x. 2 plus 2 cos x upon 2 sin x, because here 1 will get cancelled. Now 2 common, 1 plus cos x upon 2 sin x. 2 will get cancelled, and we will get it as 1 plus cos x upon sin x. Now 1 plus cos x will be written as 2 cos square x by 2 upon sin x will be written as 2 sin x by 2 cos x by 2. 2 will get cancelled, 1 cos term will get cancelled. So ultimately what we get, cot inverse of cot of x by 2, and cot inverse of cot is x by 2 will be x by 2, and so we get y is equal to x by 2. Now after that we'll differentiate with respect to x, we get dy by dx is half. So it was easy by just going for the rationalization. If you remember the formula, it will be more easy, the steps will be more reduced. But for that you should know the exact formulas. Now the seventh question, log x raised to log x as x is greater than 1. We'll take log on both sides because it is a, now here when we go for this log, we get log y is equal to log of log x raised to log x, and so it will becomes a log x log of log x. Now log x is a one function, log of log x is another function, and that is called as a composite function. So when we differentiate, we have to go with the derivatives. Here we have to use the product rule. So when we simplify, we are using product rule. What we get? 1 upon y dy by dx log x. Derivative of log x will be 1 upon log x into 1 by x plus log of log x. Derivative of log x is 1 upon x. Y will shift on the other side. So y, this log x get cancelled. So it is 1 upon x plus log of log x upon x. So this is the answer what we get. One way we can take x as a LCM and we can write 1 plus log of log x whole upon x, but the answer is going to be the same only. Eighth question is very easy, no need to simplify, you can do it by your own, it's very easy question. Now in the ninth, sin x minus cos x raised to sin x minus cos x. As it is a variable raised to variable, we have to go by the log only. So when we take a log on both the sides, log y is sin x minus cos x log of sin x minus cos x, because this power has come as a coefficient there or at the back when we differentiate. Sin x minus cos x, derivative of the log of sin x minus cos x plus log of sin x minus cos x, derivative of the sin x minus cos x. Now when we simplify this, 1 upon y dy by dx is equal to, this is a sin x minus cos x, derivative of log is 1 upon bracket, it remains as it is, again the derivative of sin x minus cos x plus log of sin x minus cos x remain as it is, derivative when we take, that is a cos x minus of minus sin x. So here this will get cancelled. Now here we get it as a cos x minus of minus sin x plus log of sin x minus cos x plus sin x. Here we get cos x plus sin x is common. So this is a y, cos x plus sin x common. So here from it is left as a 1 plus log of sin x minus cos x. So that is a, just replace the value of y and we get sin x minus cos x raised to sin x minus cos x. Cos x plus sin x, 1 plus log of sin x minus cos x. Now the 10th question. Here x raised to x is a variable, raised to variable, so has to be solved by log. X raised to a, we can go directly by the formula x raised to n, because a is a constant and that is a positive constant. So we can directly go a raised to x has a formula and a raised to a becomes a constant, and so its derivative can be calculated. So but we cannot go directly for the log, we have to separately solve only the part x raised to x, other part doesn't require to solve. And for that, first we will say let u is x raised to x, take log on both the sides, we get log u is equal to x log x, differentiate, we get 1 upon u du by dx is x derivative of log x plus log x derivative of x. So x derivative of log x is 1 upon x plus log x. So du by dx is u 1 plus log x, and we get it as du by dx is x raised to x 1 plus log x. Now we will start with the question, y is x raised to x plus x raised to a plus a raised to x plus a raised to a. Now this was our u, so we'll write it as y is equal to u plus x raised to a plus a raised to x plus a raised to a. Now when we differentiate with respect to x, we get du by dx, sorry, dy by dx is du by dx plus, when we take the derivative of x raised to a, it will becomes a x raised to a minus 1, that is a formula directly. Then a raised to x, the derivative of a raised to x is a raised to x log a, and here a raised to a is a constant, so its derivative will becomes a 0. Now just replace the value of du by dx and we will get the value, or we will get the derivative, that is a dy by dx. That completes the question number 10. Now when we go for the question number 11, correct, again I think it's easy, you can solve because variable raised to variable, so has to go by log, but we cannot go for the log directly because the plus sign is there. So assume separately, first is u, another is a v, separate it, that is find out the derivative separately and then solve. Now I'm going to start with the question number 12 because it is a partial. What they have asked? They have asked to find out dy by dx, but to find out the dy by dx, what they have stated, the function is given as y is equal to 12 into bracket 1 minus cos t, and x is given 10 in a bracket t minus sin t, pi minus pi by 2 is less than t is less than pi by 2. First, y is given 12, 1 minus cos t. So differentiating this with respect to t, because the function is given in terms of t, though they have asked to find out dy by dx, we cannot find directly differentiating with respect to x as y is given in terms of t. So first we will find dy by dt. Now to get the dy by dt, this 12 is a coefficient, will remain as it is, derivative of 1 is 0 minus derivative of cos t is minus sin t. So we get dy by dt as 12 sin t. X was given 10 in a bracket t minus sin t. Now when we differentiate with respect to t, dx by dt, 10 is a coefficient, will remain as it is. Derivative of t with respect to t is 1 minus cos t. Now what we require, dy by dx. So dy by dx is written as dy by dt upon dx by dt. So that is equal to, we get dy by dt as 12 sin t upon 10 1 minus cos t. Now we will replace the formula for sin t as 2 sin t by 2 cos t by 2, and here we get it as 1 minus cos t is 2 sin square t by 2. This 2 get cancelled. Here we have gone for the simplification, 2 6 are 2 5 are, 1 sin t will get cancelled. So what remains from here, it is a cos of t by 2 and sin of t by 2. So 6 upon pi, or 6 cos of t by 2 upon pi sin of t by 2, or we can write it as a 6 upon pi cot of t by 2, that is a dy by dx. Now the 13th sum, here we can use directly formula sin inverse x and sine inverse of 1 minus x square. We are not going to use, we can go with the simplification form, that is let x is sine theta, so that this, but when you take x as sine theta, this will becomes a theta. Here it will become 1 minus sine square theta is cos square theta, so it will becomes a cos. Sine inverse of cos, then we have to write again, or we can go with derivative directly. We'll go for the direct derivative. We know the derivative of sine inverse x is 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square plus, here instead of x this bracket is there, so 1 upon under root of 1 minus bracket square derivative of the bracket. This 1 upon under root of 1 minus x square remain as it is plus. Now this is a square root square. The square root and square, it means this root will get cancelled. So 1 minus 1 plus x square, and derivative of root is 1 upon 2 root into derivative of the number which is inside this root. So this is a 1 upon 2 under root of 1 minus x square into minus 2x. This 2 will get cancelled. Here when we simplify this, plus 1 minus 1 will get cancelled. Root of x square is x. Here we get 1 upon x into minus x upon under root of 1 minus x square. So this x will get cancelled. This is a plus, this will becomes a minus. And so we will get the answer as a 0. Now we are going to solve the 14th question. That is a different question. They have given x under root of 1 minus, sorry, it is a 1 plus y, not minus y. 1 plus y under root of 1 plus x is equal to 0. It is a plus y given. And we have to prove that dy by dx is minus 1 upon 1 plus x the whole square. Now first, as this question is given, if you will start derivative directly, here what we require dy by dx, we will not get in that term. So if you start, what will happen? 1 upon 1 minus root y will remain as it is. And then we have to find out the values from this and replace. It becomes a more tedious. Now in such question, there are two types of the question here. One is x, here only the y, not y square. And the another question, in this question when it is given, we will take on the right side as 0. So convert or take the this term on the other side and make the square, so that the square root will get cancelled. So first, that is the first part only what we are going to do. That is x under root of 1 plus y is equal to, I have shifted this term on the other side. So will becomes a minus y under root of 1 plus x. Now when we square on both the side, this, as why we are squaring, so that the square root sign will get cancelled and it will be easy for us to find out its derivative. So when we square on both sides, what we get? X square 1 plus y is equal to y square 1 plus x. Now as we get these values, after that we will try to simplify this. This is a x square, when we multiply x square plus x square y is equal to y square plus xy square. We will collect all the terms on one side. Now this is x square y minus xy square plus this x square minus y square is equal to 0. I have rearranged the term so that we can take certain common and we can factorize more. Now from this xy is a common. So what is the left from bracket here? X minus y plus. Now we know the factors of x square minus y square is x plus y, x minus y. So now what will happen? X minus y can be taken as a common. So this is x minus y common. Xy plus x plus y is 0. Now as the product of the two terms is 0, Either one of them must be 0. So either x minus y should be 0 or xy plus y is 0. When we compare this, what we get? Y is equal to x. Here we will try to collect the term of y on the left side and x on the other side. So xy plus y is equal to minus x. Y is equal to x, or if I'll take y common from here, I will get it as a 1 plus x, and so what I will get the value of y as minus x upon 1 plus x. Now if y is equal to x, the question, if I'll replace y is equal to x here, I will get it as a x 1 plus x is equal to minus x 1 plus x. Now number and negative numbers are not equal, so that is not possible. So we have just stated if y is equal to x, it will not satisfy the equation, so that is not possible. So what the y we get is minus x upon 1 plus x. Now we'll differentiate this with respect to x. Once it is a simplified, it's now very easy. U upon v formula we have to go. Dy by dx, I have kept this minus sign outside. V, that is a 1 plus x, derivative of the x, because this minus sign already we have taken outside. So derivative of the x minus x derivative of 1 plus x upon 1 plus x square. Here we have used the formula of u upon v, minus this is a 1 plus x, derivative of x is 1, minus x derivative of this is 1. So when we simplify, ultimately what get this x will get cancelled. So minus 1 upon 1 plus x the whole square. So better student mark this question as an important question, because there are certain questions in every chapter that has to be remembered or has to be solved before the exam day. Now before exam, though you get 1 or 2 day holiday, it's not sufficient. We cannot solve each and every sum and go for practice and then we'll complete our study and go for the exam. It's not possible. Now इसके लिए करना क्या होता है, ये ऐसे जो सम्स होते हैं कि जो थोड़े अलग होते हैं, that is that they are different one, should be marked, and before exam go through all the formulas, just solve 1 or 2 questions from each exercise, but these questions which are very typical और whose first step is only the different, आपकी फर्स्ट स्टेप ही रॉन्ग हुई तो आगे आप सॉल्व ही नहीं कर पाओगे. ऐसे क्वेश्चन जो होते हैं वो याद रखने पड़ते हैं और उसके हिसाब से ही आपको करना पड़ता है. इसमें मैंने जैसे बोला कि ये स्क्वायर रूट में है, इसमें वाई स्क्वायर भी होता है कभी कभी, वो होगा तो उसका अलग होता है. एंड वेन एवर वी विल कम, आई विल गिव यू सच एक्स्ट्रा क्वेश्चंस afterwards, and then at that time I will explain. There we are going with the certain assumptions of the trigonometry. Here we are not going for the assumption, we are just try to simplify and we get. इसके लिए मैंने बोला कि ऐसे जो क्वेश्चंस होते हैं that should be marked, and before exam, any exam, you have to solve that questions, and that is an important part. Now we will go for the 15 question. 15 question ही बहुत अजीब है, उसको भी मार्क करके रखो. That is a, if x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is a c square for c greater than 0. They have stated c is not and is a constant. We have to prove that 1 plus dy by dx the whole square raised to 3 by 2 upon d2y by dx square is a constant independent of a and b. Independent of a and b, it means whenever we will simplify this, that is a 1 plus dy by dx the whole square raised to 3 by 2 upon d2y by dx square, this term should not have the a and b. It will be the constant, मतलब आंसर नंबर कांस्टेंट आना चाहिए, उसमें ना x रहना चाहिए ना y रहना चाहिए, वेरिएबल नहीं होना चाहिए. बट अलॉन्ग विद दैट इट इज़ इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ ए एंड बी, मतलब इसमें ए भी नहीं आना चाहिए, बी भी नहीं रहना चाहिए, एक्स और वाई भी नहीं रहना चाहिए. अब इसको तो और डायरेक्ट सिंप्लीफाई नहीं कर सकते, पहले डी वाई बाई डी एक्स निकालना पड़ेगा, डी टू वाई बाई डी एक्स स्क्वायर निकालना पड़ेगा, and then just replace their values as dy by dx and d2y by dx square, and after replacing that value only we can simplify this. So first to get dy by dx, start. x minus a the whole square plus y minus b the whole square is c square. We will differentiate this. What will we get? 2 x minus a into derivative of x minus a is a 1. So no need to write, plus 2 y minus b, but derivative of y minus b when we go square, that is a 2 y minus b raised to 1 into derivative of the bracket, and when we go for the derivative of bracket we get dy by dx is equal to 0. यहाँ dy by dx लिखना भूल गए तो आपको dy by dx की वैल्यू ही नहीं मिलेगी, और वो नहीं मिली तो d2y by dx square तो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. Correct? So pay attention that you have to write dy by dx as well here. Now 2y minus b dy by dx is minus 2 x minus a. So from that what we get? Dy by dx is minus x minus a upon y minus b. So we have calculated the value of dy by dx. Now we require the value of d2y by dx square. For that we will differentiate again. Now when we differentiate, I will keep this minus sign outside, and this is a u upon v. So with this v derivative of u minus u derivative of v upon v square. Now what I have done, this is y minus b the whole square. I have just written in the outside the bracket, and the bracket remains y minus b. When I take derivative of this bracket with respect to x, it becomes a 1. So no need to write, minus x minus a. When we take the derivative of y minus b with respect to x, this will becomes a dy by dx, and the derivative of b is a 0. So x minus a dy by dx. Here we are going to replace the value of dy by dx, what we get, as minus x minus a upon y minus b. So when we replace, this is a square y minus b x minus a into, this is the value of the dy by dx. Now we will simplify this. We'll take the LCM as y minus b. Here I have just written this, that is a minus of minus becomes a plus. X minus a into x minus a is x minus a the whole square upon y minus b. Now we will take the LCM, that will be y. Here when we take the LCM as y minus b, this will becomes a y minus b the whole square plus x minus a the whole square upon y minus b. Now y minus b the whole square plus x minus a the whole square is c square. So this is a minus c square upon y minus b. Here it is a square, here it is a y minus b raised to nothing is there means 1. So we will get it as a y minus b raised to 3. So we have calculated the value of dy by dx and d2y by dx square. Now what we have to prove, that is we'll take the left hand side of that, the part which has to be proved, that is a 1 plus dy by dx the whole square raised to 3 by 2 upon d2y by dx square. So that is a 1 plus, what was the value of dy by dx? That was a minus x minus a upon y minus b, that we have written in the bracket, the square raised to 3 by 2 upon d2y by dx square. What we get is a minus c square upon y minus b the whole cube. Now this is a division sign, so it can be changed into the multiplication sign, but we have to make the inverse of this, or that is a reciprocal of this. So we will write this as a y minus b the whole cube upon minus c square into, so that I can now when we go, this is a upon b whole square, so it can be written as x minus a the square upon y minus b the whole square. Now we will simplify this bracket. The LCM is y minus b the whole square. So here it will be y minus b the whole square plus x minus a the whole square raised to 3 by 2. Now this is whatever the terms we have got. Now again y minus b the whole square plus x minus a the whole square is c square. So we have replaced this as a c square upon y minus b the whole square raised to 3 by 2. Now after this we are going to use the laws of indices, or that is called as exponents. This will get multiplied. So 2 into 3 by 2 will be 3, and so here we will get it as a c cube. Same way here, y minus b square into 3 by 2. This 2 will get cancelled, so we get it as a y minus b the whole cube. Now this y minus b the whole cube will get cancelled. Here c cube by c square is a c and minus c. Well, so we get it as a c, and c was a constant. So ultimately we get a constant. That only they have asked to prove that. It is a constant independent of a and b. Constant, it means it will not have the term a, that is a x and y. Along with it is independent of a and b. It means it should not have a and b anywhere. And so from that we get, that is a, we get it as a minus c, which is a constant. Now we will go for the question number 60. They have given cos y is equal to x cos of a plus y, and we have to prove dy by dx is cos square a plus y upon sine a. Here we can go in the two way. Directly start differentiating and you will get the answer, or we'll try to represent one into another. We'll try to collect the term of y on one side, x on the other side, and in that case what happen here, we get x is equal to cos y upon cos of a plus y. Though I want dy by dx, I can write dy by dx as 1 upon dx by dy, and so I will start differentiating with respect to y here, because x is a function in terms of y. So x is going to change according to y, and so I will find first dx by dy. Now dx by dy, to go for, that is a u upon v. So when we differentiating with respect to y now, not with respect to x. So x derivative will not be 1, it will be dx by dy. Here cos of a plus y into derivative of cos y minus cos y derivative of cos of a plus y upon cos square a plus y. Here cos of a plus y, what is the derivative of cos y? Is minus sin y. Derivative of y with respect to y is 1, so it becomes a minus sin y, minus cos y. Derivative of cos of will be the minus sin of a plus y upon cos square a plus y. Now this is a, this minus sign is there, so I have written minus cos of a plus y sin y. This minus minus becomes a plus sin of a plus y cos y. Now as this sign is a negative, first term is a negative, I have written just in the other next. So first I have written this cos of sin of a plus y cos y minus cos of a plus y sin y. Now we have studied the formula in the 11th. Sin alpha cos beta minus cos alpha sin beta is sin of alpha minus beta. Here what happened? A plus y. Angles are same, so I will assume this as a alpha and this is a beta. Then what in the form I get? Sin alpha cos beta minus cos alpha sin beta. And so that will be sin of alpha minus beta. My alpha was a plus y minus y. Now this y will get cancelled. We get sin a upon cos square a plus y. This is a dx by dy. What is a dy by dx? 1 upon dx by dy. And so we get dy by dx is equal to cos square a plus y upon sin a. I think it's clear. This is one method. Another method, that directly start with this, differentiate with respect to x, then collect all the terms on one side and go, you will get the answer. Now the 17th question is much more important. They have given just single question here, but doesn't mean that only that question will be asked. They can ask the questions regarding this. That is a parametric given, and we have studied of the parametric complete exercise, but in parametric just they have asked dy by dx. Now in this case the parametric is given and they have asked d2y by dx square, that is a second order derivative with given as a parametric. हमने जो पैरामेट्रिक का एक्सरसाइज सॉल्व किया उसमें पैरामेट्रिक का जस्ट वी हैव कैलकुलेटेड dy by dx, we have not gone for the d2y by dx square. We know to find out the second order derivative we have to differentiate again with respect to x. Now but though as it is a parametric there will be little bit change, and that you have to pay the attention over that part only, otherwise the sum is a easy part. Now what is given? X is a cos t plus t sin t, and y is given a bracket sin t minus t cos t. Find d2y by dx square. X is given, so we will start with differentiating with respect to t. We get dx by dt. A is as it is. Derivative of cos t is minus sin t plus, here t sin t, t is a one variable, sin t is another variable. So we have to go product rule. T derivative of sin t plus sin t derivative of t. Dx by dt is a. This is a minus sin t. T derivative of sin t is cos t plus sin t derivative of t is 1. This sin t will get cancelled. A t cos t. That is a dx by dt. Now y, what was the y? A sin t minus t cos t. Now when we differentiate, a derivative of sin t is cos t minus t cos t. Here again the product rule. T derivative of cos t plus cos t derivative of t. So dy by dt, a cos t minus t derivative of cos t is a minus sin t. Then I have opened the bracket at the same time, so that is a minus cos t, derivative of t is 1. Now this cos t and cos t will get cancelled. This minus of minus will becomes plus. So we get dy by dt is a t sin t. As t and x, sorry, y and x both were explained in terms of t, we have calculated dy by dt and dx by dt. Now we require to calculate dy by dx. So dy by dx is written as dy by dt upon dx by dt. Now what is the value of dy by dt? We get at sin t upon at cos t. At will get cancelled and we will get it as dy by dx as tan t. So up till this it was very easy. Just we have to find out because we have solved a complete one exercise on this part. That is called as a parametric. Now after that what they have asked, not dy by dx, they have asked d2y by dx square. Now what is the d2y by dx square? Is nothing but derivative of dy by dx with respect to x, not with respect to t. Though it is defined in terms of t, we are not going to differentiate with respect to t, we are going to differentiate with respect to x. So differentiating with respect to x, the derivative of dy by dx will be d2y by dx square is d by dx of tan t. Now the derivative of tan is sec square, so that is a sec square t, and derivative of t with respect to x is dt by dx. So d2y by dx square is sec square t. Now we don't know the value of dt by dx. We have calculated the value of dx by dt. So dt by dx will be the reciprocal of dx by dt. Here we have calculated the value of dx by dt as at cos t and so we can write dt by dx will be 1 upon at cos t. That we are going to replace here, 1 upon at cos t. 1 upon cos is sec, so that will be sec cube t at, and that is a second order derivative. Only the main thing in this is you have to go with this dt by dx, and the value of dt by dx will be the reciprocal of dx by dt. If you will forget this, your answer will be complete wrong. And so that is only the important part, that what you have to remember is that we have to find out the value of dt by dx, और that has to be replaced. कैलकुलेट तो करनी नहीं है, वो हमने निकाली थी, बट वो रिप्लेस करना भूलना नहीं है. That is only the important part. Now I am going to solve the question number 19, and that is our last question for today. That is actually PMI. You have studied the PMI last year. I think you are remembering what is mean by PMI. That is a principle of mathematical induction. For the principle of mathematical induction, how we are proving? By using the mathematical induction, we have to prove that derivative of x raised to n is n x raised to n minus 1. Mathematical induction, it means first we are proving for n equals to 1, n equal to k के लिए assume करते थे, and using that result we were trying to prove for k plus 1, and that method was called as a principal PMI method, that is called as a mathematical induction method. So first let us prove the result for n equal to 1. In the left hand side, d by dx of x raised to 1, matlab x. What is the derivative of x? That is a 1. So we get the left hand side as 1. What is the right hand side? 1 x raised to 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. Anything raised to 0 is always 1. So 1 into 1 is 1. And that is the same as the left hand side. And so we can say that it is true for n is equal to 1. Now let us assume it is true for n is equal to k. Correct? So derivative of x raised to k is k x raised to k minus 1, not x minus 1. Again here it is my printing mistake. Now let us prove for n is equal to k plus 1. Now what we have to prove? Derivative of x raised to k plus 1 as k plus 1 x raised to k. This is what we have to prove. Now we will start with the left hand side. D by dx of x raised to k plus 1. Now k plus 1, I can write x into x raised to k, because the law of indices we are using in the reverse way. बेस सेम होगा तो पावर ऐड होती है, उसका उल्टा यूज़ किया, बेस सेम रख के